L, really? Here's the thing I worry about. I don't want it to be Ascension. Like, it sounds like, the way they described it, it's almost like Project Ascension.
Okay guys, so while I'm still working on another Turtle WoW series video, obviously BlizzCon came out and wow, I won't even lie, I had zero plans to watch it, but I was basically convinced to, and by a friend, and I watched it and I thought, wow, I actually on a personal level like what I'm seeing. That's because I like new things, I like custom, I want to do something new with World of Warcraft as the basis for the newness, and that is really enjoyable to me, no matter really where it comes from, for better or for worse, I guess. However, one thing I could not escape, I guess, one thing I could not get away from, no matter how hard I tried, was the rampant amount of people who were saying, did Blizzard just announce the release of Ascension 0.5 with Season of Discovery coming on November 30th? And, I'm going to talk about that today. I really don't think anybody else knows as much about Ascension as me in the YouTube sphere. It just is what it is. I've been playing this for 3 years now, making videos pretty religiously on it. But yeah, we play other servers sometimes, especially when things are slow. But at the end of the day, though, we play Ascension WoW. And yeah, they've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and they've kind of definitely improved the entire way from the beginning to now. But I have to say, and I think many of you will agree, nobody really expected Blizzard to do this. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I always knew there was going to come a day where Blizzard was going to create what I am currently playing in the private server scene. It was just a matter of when, and if I'm even a YouTuber still when it happens. I didn't know how far in the future it might be. I always thought that was going to happen. To me, it was inevitable. I did not expect it so soon, and I would never have expected that their first foray into the scene would be something like this. I do want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about real quick, what is their Season of Discovery? Let's just like make that happen in case you don't know or in case you don't have as much info. This is my interpretation of what I saw, and I'm going to nitpick the details that I think are more interesting to me. First of all, Season of Discovery, they're making it come out November 30th, and you know, a lot of people want to say that maybe they're not thinking big-brained about this in regards to private servers. I think that's not true. This time of year is like basically when everyone thought all of these private servers were going to release. I mean, I know Koa's not in 60 yet, which I'm very sad to say, but everyone thought it was going to be out by that time. Absolutely same thing with Duskhaven. Absolutely Turtle WoW just went big as well. They have like 20,000 created unique characters or something like that with their recent server, and like a massive population for a private server. All of it's custom, right? We are still waiting for some kind of like vanilla Ascension. Not sure why that hasn't come out yet, to be honest. I almost wonder what would have happened if they had just like not, you know, waited until after, let's just say, this season comes out, because you really have to wonder, right? Like, would an Ascension version of vanilla just be a better version of Season of Discovery? Yeah, I think it would, but not if they get beat to the punch, because at the end of the day, people are going to make their characters on the Blizzard realm and play that because it's the Blizzard realm. A lot of people will, more people than not. And then obviously you have whatever's coming with Chapter 4 Ascension, and then eventually Season 9. In the custom realm, there's a lot, you know, there's a lot going on right now. And what else is coming on right now? A no beta Season of Discovery custom Blizzard vanilla. I don't think it's a complete coincidence. I maybe am wrong, but it does seem like the best possible time to attempt something like this by Blizzard if they really just want to get all of the players who might have been looking away and bring them to the Blizzard sphere once again or for the first time. So to me, it's a super smart play if you look at it from that perspective. When we get to the actual meat of it, though, not only is it coming soon, which means even I'm going to play it, I'll be honest with you, I am going to try it 100%, but it is a take on Classic Plus. First of all, they're starting you at level 25 as the max cap, right? So you start at level 1, you can level up to 25. They are releasing a Black Fathom Deeps 10-man raid. It looked a lot just like the regular dungeon, but, you know, with extra gear and very kind of like like minimal extra mechanics. Maybe we just didn't see it all in the BlizzCon panels and stuff like that, but I will admit I wasn't blown away. However, it is fresh, completely vanilla plus content, and that is pretty sick. And if I have to hold it to the same standards as I would any private server fresh content, then I would have to say it's good. It is on that same level, I will say. In that regard, I think, okay, cool, this could be sick. Fresh gear, brand new ways to play the classes. Yes, they are giving us an enchant system, essentially, but they're giving us the old enchant system. In order to give us a true Classic Plus experience in regards to the classes, they are going to allow us to find different rune engravings, aka world forged enchants, out in the world, I guess. I believe that's the exclusive way. And then you'll be able to enchant, I believe, at the first phase, up to 3 pieces of gear. I think it was the chest, probably the legs, probably the gloves, something like that. And then with every tier that they go up to 35, let's say, 45, 55 maybe, whatever they choose, they're going to add an extra rune engraving. These rune engravings, I'll have some up on the screen right now, are essentially equivalent to something between an epic enchant and maybe even a legendary enchant when it comes to Ascension. I think this is a very big deal. I think there's a very big pain point right here. A lot of the critiques have been, why would Blizzard do something that Ascension already got rid of because it wasn't as good? Which is to say, to put enchants that power your character up on the gear that you are using. And I would say, possibly because it's a fundamentally different system the way Blizzard is doing it, and it doesn't have the same negatives that Ascension's version did. I do think that the way Ascension does it right now is better, but as you're seeing, I don't think the way that Blizzard is doing their enchants right now is actually the same at all to how Ascension used to do it, or even worse, it's just different. And I think that's very big. People are really like, oh, it's Ascension WoW. It's really not. And it's not in many different ways. It's only superficially Ascension WoW. Very surface level Ascension WoW. So anyway, I do want to go more into that, and I will in this video. But to really kind of like tie it back in together, essentially we are getting a staggered progression-based server, I guess it's server-based, right? Where we go 1 to 25 and they incrementally raise the level cap, where you can acquire different enchants, they call them engravings, throughout the world that will, for example, give you Lava Lash on your Shaman and let you play dual wield, or for example, let you tank on your Shaman. Like, this is big. This is Classic Plus. This is what people might be missing. This is the predecessor to what will be their true Classic Plus. Things like, for example, Mages healing and Warlocks tanking. It's almost like they shouldn't have said that, because that's the part that sounds like Ascension, but it's not the same in terms of the implementation. It is Vanilla Plus. It is their, once again, predecessor to Classic Plus, and I think that's a really big point. With all of this stuff on an updated client, you know, very high quality of life, the one that Blizzard uses compared to most private servers, I think that this will obviously succeed for a decent amount of time. I think going progression-based from 1 to 25, 35, 45, 55, whatever they might do, I think that is incredibly big-brained, because ultimately what they're doing here, this is obvious to me, I'm sure it's obvious to you, is that they are building their way up to 60, where they did also tease that they would be willing to maybe release a raid in a place where, you know, nobody ever got the lore, like let's say Grimbatal or something like that, or maybe a zone, and maybe we'll see a Hyjal from Blizzard that's actually fully fleshed out, the way that the beautiful one released by Turtle WoW is. That's something they're genuinely considering, but I think they want to feel it out, and I think they want to build their way up there because they know it's a lot of work, and maybe they shouldn't try to release it all at once at 60, especially if they're not quite sure what the players really want. This is a very difficult thing, but they've done it masterfully in my opinion, because as they go from 25 to 60, and everyone will stick with it the entire way, because there's always something new to do, and they're going to be presumably releasing new, you know, mini raids the entire way up as well. I mean, just look at a game like Koa, people definitely stayed there from, you know, bracket to bracket to bracket to bracket, and it was only the, you know, crazy gap of the 50 bracket itself that kind of dwindled the player base. I think that ultimately it was the smartest thing they could do to ultimately get to 60, then start releasing real Vanilla Plus content, and ultimately stagger everything out as long as possible so that they could actually have that time while simultaneously maintaining that money and that player base to release a true Vanilla Plus, and they suck in all the players from the private server scene in the process. Now, I didn't say it's necessarily going to work. I'm saying I think it will, and I think that's what they're trying to do, and to me it sounds smart. That is what I see, and so you can let me know what you think in the comment section below. But what I do want to do now towards the end is I would like to really look at the enchants on this presumed Season of Discovery on November 30th compared to Ascension. I put the meme at the beginning of the video. You saw this extremely pixelated, blurry picture of what they show at BlizzCon on the right, and my enchants actually December something 2021 on the left. Notice the similarities. One thing you might also notice is one of them is far simpler than the other, and I actually think that's the strength of the Blizzard system, and I kind of alluded to that earlier. A lot of people are saying these are incredibly similar, that it's just Ascension Lite, but I don't see it like that at all. I think that Blizzard is going to be doing some things that I've been saying that we should do in Ascension for a while, actually, because I think it will appeal to more people, and I think it actually properly encompasses what makes Ascension fun, which is to remove the RNG. I think the randomness element is not fun. I think it's, like, inherently not fun to get to max level and you can't play the game. You know, like, that doesn't feel fun. That loop of knowing you're just going to get to max and can't play the game typically triumphs over that loop of I get to max level and I happen to be overpowered and I can kill everybody with my random stuff and that's fun. I think I've learned that lesson myself, as even when I first started playing Ascension, if you guys remember back then, I didn't even play max level Ascension. I only 1 to 60'd because I hated max level so much because of that loop, but I could basically escape it while leveling because things were more loose and, you know, more things could succeed and things were less min-maxy, so it didn't matter if you thought you were the best because I could still beat you, right? And then we got to max and the gear, you know, played into it, the crazy min-maxing of the talents and the enchants went into it, and suddenly the gaps were just absurd, and like, yeah, not many people I think enjoyed that overall. Ascension has always been a complex game, and part of that complexity is definitely because of the randomness of it all, but also because of the way they did stuff like enchants. They went for 17, for example, I believe it is. I think that's how many item slots there are that are enchantable at some point, and that's a lot, whereas Blizzard is starting with 3, and maybe going to what, like 5? Maybe 5? Maybe 6? And that is so small, but bigger is not always better, my friends. I hyper-focus on the randomness because Blizzard is not being random about it. Blizzard says, you pick a foundation, which is what I've always said, pick a foundation, now we augment, iterate, and make better that foundation, and we bring forth a playstyle that is truly yours, and enjoyable, and different. It adds spice to the vanilla world. That is what people truly want. When I make videos on Ascension, I'm not often min-maxing it. I'm not often showing you guys me trying to push an Ascended or a Mythic raid, or trying to get high rating. I'm like, hey, I made a Shadow Hybrid today, and no one else in the world can do that, except if you play this game at this moment in this way, the way that I just randomly came up with. And yes, I'm not efficient, but it doesn't matter, because it's cool, it's fun, it's different, and that's what people want. I truly believe that is the only thing that people truly care about, and the amount of people that are hyper min-maxing the content is minuscule at best, so you should not really, in my opinion, appeal to that, and Blizzard is not, absolutely not. You can't have a level cap of 25 and appeal to that. They are building their way up with a foundation, with that feeling of I can shaman tank, I can be a prot pally in vanilla, and it's viable, and I have new content to do, with I can be a mage, and oh, what if I could heal? Or what if my Voidwalker or me in Metamorphosis could tank as a warlock? And they are giving you that, they're letting you have that diversity, but without all of the negatives, and I think that's a huge deal. Let's not forget that one of the things that actually came with Ascension, because of the way it's structured, to where you're constantly looping to max, not getting anything fun, then you have to restart all over again and stuff like that, is the idea that the world is dead. And this has hurt my videos as well, because I don't have any content if the world is dead, right? You want to watch dungeons for the millionth time? Probably not, and it's not as fun to play that either. I want to be in the world. I want my character to feel meaningful. You can't do that with a prestige system, I think, in the current iteration at least. Blizzard's not doing that either, and this is slept on, right? Because if you can play with all this custom content, but feel the community, feel the content and the character that you're playing on consistently, that is very interesting. And I didn't even mention this, but they're going to give you a Joyous Journeys buff from all of the predecessor levels. So as you're going to, let's say, 60, once the level cap gets raised that much, you'll level faster to get more and more alts, to try more and more stuff, but it'll still be a journey in the world. It's not like you're going at, like, you know, 1 day to max, but, you know, maybe instead of going for 3 weeks to max, it takes you a week and a half. Okay, great. I got to play in the world for like a week and a half on that character. This is the World of Warcraft still, and that's a big deal. I don't want Ascension to sleep on this, you know what I mean? Yes, their UI is 10 times worse than Ascension's UI. That's obvious. The Ascension people are extremely good when it comes to that type of stuff. Their UI, the smoothness of it, it is unparalleled in the private server scene. And for whatever fucking reason, man, it's actually better than the way Blizzard does it too. But gameplay is ultimately, as I get reminded often, what matters the most. The loops, the systems, and how that makes a player feel. I have played Ascension my whole life, and you don't see Ascension videos from me right now. It will come, don't get me wrong, I'm waiting for new content, but you have to wonder what that means. I am going to play Season of Discovery on November 30th. Will it be forever? Will it be for like a week? Will it be for like a day or one video? I don't know. I'm going to obviously try my best to get through this Turtle WoW series that I'm really enjoying making throughout November, and maybe, December, don't know, as I work on Koa. And as Koa is a big hot topic as well, I will say, no, I don't know when 60 is coming out, and I apologize. I thought I knew what I knew. I thought I was told what I was told, but I don't know. So there you go. But yeah, lots of good works being done on that. I've reworked a lot of specs, and like it looks good, guys. But anyway, that's what I think overall on Season of Discovery. Yes, it is similar aesthetically to Ascension. Yes, sometimes some of those enchants, so to speak, that they create are similar to what's on Ascension. Although, let's be fair, there's only so many ideas you can have. It's still Blizzard's game. But ultimately, it is foundationally different from Ascension. And that foundation is massive. What if you had Ascension, but they successfully did not force randomness on you, and simultaneously did not have a meta that made you want to KMS when they go free pick like we see on something like Area 52? What if the thing that I have been saying alongside so many of you in my comment section for years now came true, where it was still, to some degree, foundationally controlled, yet still augmented, yet still balanced to a degree, yet still, again, giving you this ability to be different, but still World of Warcraft? What if that happened without all of the negatives? Maybe Blizzard does this. Maybe Blizzard pulls it off. Maybe it's doo-doo. I really don't know, but that's just my general thoughts on it so far. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Major thanks to all the members on my channel. I love and appreciate you guys, especially right now while things are slow. Thank you for sticking it out with me, though. I'll see you in the next one. Mcdoubles out.